Let's discuss Chapter 4, Section 4.2 is a contingency table for two variables. Contingency table is another nickname Crosstable. It is simply frequency table for two variables. Let's look at what it is. Crosstable, contingency table, it's the same name. Usually it is to summarize two categorical variables. We just create a table with rows and columns using possible values of two categorical variables. Then we check each data and count the frequency of a corresponding cell. That is the cross table. As a supplementary, we provide some percent in terms of rows, percent in terms of column, or in terms of total. It is very useful to study association of two variables. If you are doing real survey, we create hundreds of cross tables. We analyze that. That's the basic step. Maybe before we do cross table, we do simple frequency table for single variable. Then we create hundreds of cross table. It is very useful. In Chapter 11, we'll discuss independence test related with this cross table. Here's one example. We have two categorical variables, gender and marital status. You might be curious what would be the gender and marital status for each of the value. You have 1 and 2, 1 to 3 like that. It's in E10, you need to have two columns of data. That's typical in a statistical package. And then to create cross table, it is so simple. If you click the marital, the second variable, if you click marital, the first click it is analysis variable, and then gender, second click, the gender variable will create this kind of bar chart. If you click frequency table, they're gonna give you the cross table like this. I mean, each row, it represents a row, male and female, and these are the marital status. We call this is cross table. Here, this is the percent related with the row only. Okay. How about the quantitative variable? Is it impossible? There's some way, but if you have two quantitative variables, you'd better use some statistical package. The idea is just to transform your continuous data into some interval data and then apply cross table. But it is a nuisance to do in E10. Maybe you'd better use a statistical package. But if one variable is categorical, the other is continuous, then you can use a histogram. You already saw that. Okay, you can use a histogram. Okay. Here's one example. This is teacher's age in middle school. The first column, first variable is gender, second variable is age. If you plot histogram, it looks like this. They automatically create interval. And then if you click frequency table, they're gonna create the cross table. This represent some interval. This represent male and female. Okay. But therefore, you may consider this is one kind of cross table. If you switch the interval size, then you can create a cross table like this. Let's practice two examples. Do you have your E-stat with you? click EX button will show you many example. Click ebook folder. We are in chapter 4. Maybe this is the first example in section 4.2. Can you see that? These are the gender categorical data, marital status. Well, if you have this data, click marital status first, then click gender. Will give you this kind of a bar chart. You can create a cross table by clicking this frequency table. They're gonna show you this kind of a cross table and then some kind of a testing. It is the issue of chapter 11. In case of you have the qualitative data, well, it is related with drawing bar chart and then clicking this. Let's look at the continuous data case with some group variable. Let's click this EX button and then let's click the teacher's age data. Okay, you know, this is quantitative data, this is qualitative data. Instead can create the cross table of that. But if you have two continuous data, well, you'd better use some professional packaging. Okay, how can you do that? I said you need to click histogram. Click here. At this stage, if you click frequency table, it is just the frequency table. But if you click one more, these things, will they plot histogram depending on group. Then if you click this, they gonna show you cross table like this. Okay. Oh no, I mean this is all possible value. Maybe it has too much. Therefore, if you click this frequency table, then they're gonna generate cross table what you want. These are the interval. Here's some group 1, group 2. You can check the frequency. It is one kind of frequency table. Okay, that's all for today. Next lecture, we'll discuss some summary measures.